Indiana Fever not relying solely on Caitlin Clark as national analyst highlights Stephanie White's additional advantage. It was 2016. The Los Angeles Sparks finally clinched that elusive championship after more than a decade. Their secret sauce? No, not just talent. It was friendship. That off-court magic between Candace Parker and Nneka Ogwumike was what sealed the deal. We've seen that time and time again. When teams click off the court, magic happens on it. So sure, the Indiana Fever have a generational star in Caitlin Clark, but you know Stephanie White might just be sitting on an even bigger goldmine. See, the Fever's returning cast from last season is barely a handful. Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull Clark, and Damiris Dantas. That's it. And their off-season moves were about perfect fits. Duana Bonner and Nanisha Howard are defensive dynamos. Sydney Colson is the exact kind of backup peachy you want mentoring and organizing. Then there's Sophie Cunningham, the walking firecracker who matches Clark's energy beat for beat. But everyone was a little skeptical. You know, new team, barely any holdovers, and doubt on the first-time chemistry. Could they actually put it together in time to chase a title? But turns out they didn't need time. They have been acting like long-lost friends reunited on the hardwood. The bond is already there. The culture is stronger than ever. Somehow, 10 new players and an overhauled coaching staff walked into Indiana and just clicked. National analyst Ashley Nickel-Moss noticed and said it loud and clear on We Need to Talk. This isn't the Caitlin Clark show. And you built this team that has this great chemistry. They want to win coming out the gate, and they support each other in every way. You see all of them on social media. They're just really getting along in addition to having all of these threats. This wasn't a last-minute thing either. The groundwork started back in free agency right after the draft and in those early days of training camp. You got to go out of your way to build those relationships, Clark said. Because when you need to hold someone accountable, it has to come from a place of respect. And it shows. From goofy TikToks to sideline banter is very much evident. Remember when micked-up Clark embraced her every teammate during that Iowa game? Or when Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull gladly enjoyed the internet calling them twins? Or those fun comments on each other's Instagram posts? Even Vet Bonner made sure she connected early. She reached out to both Clark and Boston before even signing. I was super excited to talk to DB, Boston said. We just told her how special this fan base is. And as Kelsey Mitchell put it, when you respect your teammates as competitors, it makes for a better relationship. She shared how it helped her and Clark last season. Now that's what's powering Indiana's vibe right now as well. It even carried them to an oat win over the Mystics without Clark. Sophie led the way and the team held strong. But the coach is still not very much impressed. White's still not satisfied with Clark and Co's court chemistry. While off-court vibes are sky-high, Coach Stephanie White isn't exactly kicking her feet up. This offseason was all about plugging the holes that tripped them up last year. The biggest was not a single starter with playoff experience. That's no longer an issue, but execution is still a work in progress. In those first 2 preseason games, White didn't sugarcoat it. She revealed exactly where they lacked despite winning. Missed rotations, sloppy rebounding, and spacing that made half-court sets look like rush hour. Sometimes we were on top of one another, she admitted. Not great when you're trying to move the ball. The Fever did pull off a win in that preseason matchup against the Mystics, but they shot 30.3%. Boston held it down with 8 rebounds and 3 assists, but that offense was not smooth sailing. Game 2, though, was better. Against Brazil, they looked far more in sync. Clark, Mitchell, Bonner, and Howard were attacking from all angles. Boston played dual roles, defender and distributor. The rhythm was better, the movement cleaner. But even then, White wasn't throwing confetti. The truth is, it's all part of the growing pains. Building chemistry is one thing. Translating it into action on the hardwood is the real task. But if Clark's sights are set on championships, and nothing less, Indiana knows they've got to sharpen up fast. But it's still early and Caitlin Clark's Fever squad is determined. Just after a day off, they were back at Salesforce Court. And we just know their first day back was all about boxing out and spacing.